you're not still on any formal contract, correct?
No. We're both free agents. We don't have any contract. We're just doing TNA per appearance right now. And we've agreed to work with them for a couple more months, and then we're not opposed to extending that, and if they wanted to offer something, we would have a conversation with them, because it's been really good. I've really enjoyed my time there, and it's been fun, and I feel energized. It's nice because I feel utilized. I feel optimized, because I feel like one of the issues in AEW, and I said this before, I did Busted Open earlier today. Like when we first came in and we were first getting used, like we were in a good spot. It was very cool what we were doing. I liked what Tony was doing with us, and we were on the path to win the titles. And then Jeff got in trouble. Jeff messed up, and that was all on Jeff. That was not on Tony. That was not on AEW. That was on Jeff, and it just is what it is. So I did my thing. Jeff went and got himself right. Whenever he came back, I figured, it'll probably take a couple months, 2-3 months to prove himself, because I knew where Jeff was here in his head. I knew what kind of positive headspace he was in and how good of a place he was in. I said it'll probably take 2 or 3 months. He'll earn the trust back of these people, and then maybe we'll be off and running. But just that after Jeff came back, we didn't win a tag team match for a year. It's crazy. We're the Hardys. We didn't win a tag team match on TV in a year. And
not even an enhancement match or anything.
I brought this point up, like, what are we doing? Like, we need, just give us a win. Like, we don't need to be we don't need to be the champions. We don't need to be undefeated, but just like, we need a win, at some point. And it just was very frustrating. And whenever Jeff did a deal where he wrestled Darby because Sting got hurt, and they switched up, and they made we're going to be teaming some more with Mark Briscoe. We're talking about doing 6-mans or tags, whatever. There were all these matches on the table. And I just wanted a story more than anything else. I wanted to get into some sort of story that we could sink our teeth into, that we could take our characters and gravitate towards and really put in the work. We were up for turning heel. We were up for being, this larger than life tag team that almost buys into that they're the greatest tag team of all time, and almost make, parody the stuff and do it so big and over the top that I think could have even got over his baby faces. But we didn't end up doing that. We didn't get the full opportunity to follow through with that. And then Jeff started having singles matches. And after every singles match, he'd come up to me and go, why am I doing singles matches? Why are we not teaming? We're like the Hardys, right? We're like the Hardy Boys. Like, why are we not teaming? Why am I doing these singles? And I just think at the end of the day, a lot of the internet people, that like to give us a hard time because we're older, we are of advanced stage, whatever it may be. And they they're just critical. They're just like, get these guys out of here, let them move on, whatever. But there's no denying that every night we would come out in AEW, it was one of the biggest pops of the night. And the people that actually paid to purchase tickets were happy to see us. And they would chant for us. They would cheer for us. And they were all about it every single time. But I don't know. I just think in AEW, Tony Khan was just more focused on having, a great 5-star match or a great banger than, utilizing us as the Hardys and like legends, which I think we could have been utilized in a smart capacity that would have optimized our performance. And you would still had these generational performers that all this audience is still big fans of. We have a huge fan base. Every week we're out, we have a huge fan base. And there were people that would start telling us at cons too, like during that time, during the end of my AEW run, they said, yeah, so since you're not on, you guys never really do anything good, we've kind of just stopped watching, And I mean, that's our fans, not AEW fans in general. That's our fans. So I don't know. It's just, it was frustrating, but at the end of the day, I ended up leaving. Jeff ended up leaving, and we're very happy that we're somewhere where we're being utilized and we're going to be able to be optimized to be as good as we can possibly be.
A lot to dig into there. So I want to break that down in a few places, but the part about, you guys just kind of being on the sidelines there in AEW and you feeling that Tony wanted just the 5-star matches and stuff. Let's be fair here for a second. Okay. The Hardys where you guys are right now in your careers are not what is typically on the AEW product, right? Can we agree on that? Like where you are
Sure.
is not how the AEW product is typically presented. Hell, I mean, just being even further real, the AEW tag team division doesn't even really exist right now. It was one of the backbones of the company when it launched, and now it's barely even present on the television show. So there were probably a lot of moving pieces in play on that front, and I don't think you were ever going to get what you were hoping to get at this stage from there, because the priorities are just different. And I don't think that's necessarily personally against you, but it just wrong place, wrong time kind of thing. You know, I really do believe that. Do you think there's any truth to that?
I mean, maybe we're big stars. There's no doubt about that.
100%.
And we can still go. I mean, it was just, it was hard to stay motivated towards the end of that, even there, you know, much like I just knew I had an opportunity to do something. You know, I just went in and like main event a pay-per-view and like we killed it. The numbers were up for that. The episode that we were in, we did a silly Hardy compound episode, which the numbers were up for that, you know, which there was buzz, and they're generating some stuff. The Slammiversary tickets right now are like 2,300 tickets sold, which is amazing. But yeah, it's one of those things. I feel like if you have the Hardy Boys, one of the most popular tag teams, if not the most popular overall when it comes to merchandise, if you can't find a way to utilize us and fit us into your product in a positive way, then I think that's problematic.
Yeah, I mean, I totally agree with you there.
That's
I totally agree. No, I mean, you're not wrong, Matt. You're not wrong. I totally agree with you on that. And what I was just saying before, you know, I know you're not someone who's like, we need to be featured on TV every single week, wrestling 15-minute, 20-minute matches. I know that's not what you're calling for here. You're just asking for a valued spot, and I totally get that.
Of course not.
And it's sad because you mentioned the characters earlier, the larger than life Carney heel characters before. You workshopped it subtly a few times on TV, and there were a lot of fans who picked up on it and took interest in it. I know you're pretty aware of the comments being told. I thought you guys were ready to tap into something pretty cool there. Did you formally pitch stuff like that?
Yes, that was formally pitched. That was something that was absolutely formally pitched. You know, we ran it by Will Washington, a couple of the other guys, Jimmy Jacobs. We'd mentioned it. I think I'd even mentioned it to Tony at some point. And I mean, I wanted us to seem like we were frustrated there and we were going to change. And we get a couple wins and we're like, oh my God, we're back. We've been on the streak. We are the greatest of all time. And once again, before people start, you know, changing the narrative on this too, like, once again, I'm just expressing some of my creative frustrations there. Tony Khan is a great dude. Tony Khan took great care of us because he paid us very well. He takes care of his wrestlers to the greatest extent. So I don't want anyone thinking this is coming off any different. This is just me speaking honestly from my perspective. And I want AEW to succeed. It's important. It is paramount that AEW succeeds in pro wrestling industry. And I also think just being at TNA is a positive thing too, because I think TNA is very, very important in the pro wrestling industry as well. It's a great place for like Speedball Mike Bailey getting that opportunity there. Like I've got to work with him, you know, really enjoyed him so much. Joe Henry getting that opportunity, someone who's really, I mean, he's like selling tons and tons of merch, the way he's, you know, streamed and placed and landed on all these charts. I mean, just there's a lot of great guys there who can be, you know, big stars in the future, whether it be WWE, AEW, whatever else. TNA is very important and it needs to be around too. And if we can do stuff to contribute to make it grow and be bigger and better, then I'm very good doing that as well.
Like I said, there was kind of a lot that you got into on that AEW front and the whole contract situation and some of the frustrations there. Do you view it as a place that you would entertain going back to at any point if the right opportunity came along?
I mean, I never say never about any place. You know, like people say, like, I would never go back there. You know, I know Punk said that about WWE. I would never go back there. You know, don't ever say that, because if you're a wrestler, you're willing to go back anywhere. I mean, there's a lot of things about AEW that I really enjoyed. Just like, you know, at the end when Jeff came back, and I felt like Jeff had tried to repent for his wrongdoings, and I felt like he had really worked hard to prove himself, and that he was there and he was a team player, and, you know, hopefully we're going to get another opportunity. And once again, we got that opportunity, and that was not on Tony in the beginning. That was not on AEW. That was on Jeff. and that lies solely on Jeff because he's the one that screwed up earlier on. And I am openly admitting that. That is me speaking honestly. And we would have loved to been able to get another opportunity to do that and to work hard, to work smart, whatever else, and to have that last great run, as a tag team and have done it in AEW. I would have been okay doing that. But, lo and behold, just sometimes things don't work out the way you hope they do. And sometimes you have to change course. Sometimes you have to go in a different door and you have to just start, moving your ass forward and keeping your chin up. And that's where we're at right now.
But can you, and I'm playing devil's advocate here,
Yeah.
can you fault Tony Khan and the AEW front office for not wanting to give that other opportunity after they invested, and then on their end, their investment fell short in that moment?
No, I can't fault them. I mean, I feel like if you have the Hardys, I mean, we are extremely popular. We're in the conversation for the greatest tag team of all time. I just don't see how you don't utilize this. I mean, it once again, if it was the Bucks doing it, it would have been a different story. Once again, I love the Bucks. I mean, every time they got the opportunity when they wanted to work with someone, it would be us, me and Jeff, or me, Jeff, and Isaiah first off. That's the biggest thing I miss from AEW. I just miss hanging out with the Bucks, shooting the breeze with those guys and talking shop and even working with them because the Bucks are great. Everybody knows here. That's no secret. I got lots of love for the Bucks, and I really miss seeing them on a weekly basis more than anything else.